A new Russian decoy drone used to fool Ukrainian air defense is made entirely of Chinese parts, the Telegraph reports. The discovery made by Ukrainian intelligence is the first time that Russia has used weapons made entirely from Chinese components. It is further evidence of cooperation between Beijing and Moscow, despite Chinese leader Xi Jinping's insistence that his country does not supply lethal weapons to either side in the war in Ukraine. Although Chinese technologies are used in other Russian weapons, they have always been combined with components from other countries, the publication added. Ukrainian intelligence also said that they had managed to seize 2 new drones and disassemble them. We are talking about the CBTS.611000 drone, which is usually used for reconnaissance and as a decoy, but it can also carry a warhead weighing up to 15 kilograms. Almost half of the components of one of the drones were made by CUAV Technology, a company based in Guangdong province that advertises itself as an open-source drone solutions provider. These parts included a flight controller with autopilot, navigation modules and antennas, an airspeed sensor, and a pitot tube. In 2022, the company announced that it would impose restrictions on the export of its products to Russia and Ukraine to prevent their use for military purposes. However, the recently discovered drones are not the first time that CUAV technology products have been found in Russia, the Telegraph recalled. In addition, according to Ukrainian intelligence, the Chinese drones contained an engine and electronic ignition module from Mile Haoxiang Technology, a first-person camera from Foxeer Technology, and a Chinese copy of the Australian RFD 900X data transmission module from RF Design, which can transmit data over a distance of up to 40 kilometers. This system allows for the creation of a data transmission channel from a UAV to a ground station or between UAVs, thereby increasing its reconnaissance capabilities. Ukrainian intelligence added. China is secretly supplying engines through front companies to a state-owned drone maker in Russia under the guise of industrial refrigeration units to avoid Western sanctions if discovered. Reuters reports, citing information from 3 European security officials and documents. According to them, these deliveries have allowed Russian arms manufacturer IEMZ Kupol to increase production of Garpia A-1 attack drones despite US and EU sanctions imposed in October to disrupt the company's supply chain. In particular, an internal Kupol document shows that the company has signed a contract with the Russian Defense Ministry to produce more than 6,000 Garpias this year, up from 2,000 units in 2024. The document says that more than 1,500 drones have been delivered by April.
At least 6 people were killed and dozens injured in an explosion in northern Syria's Idlib province, officials said Thursday. According to Associated Press, there was no official statement on the cause of the blast. The UK-based War Monitor Syrian Observatory for Human Rights reported that the explosion took place in an ammunition depot. The Syrian Civil Defense, also known as the White Helmets, reported at least 6 killed in the blast, which took place in the town of Merit Misrin north of the city of Idlib. This is the death toll only of those recovered by Syrian civil defense teams, who continue to search for those trapped under the rubble, the White Helmets said in a statement. The state-run news agency, SANA, reported 4 people killed and 116 injured, citing health officials, without giving further details.
ادلب الآن الله أكبر ادلب الآن
سيارة دبابة ما بعرف شي هلا انفجرت. ليكي لوين؟ ليكي لوين؟
Ukraine and Russia have reached an agreement on exchange of prisoners of war during another round of negotiations held between the two countries' delegations in the Turkish city of Istanbul. The first exchange of prisoners was carried out immediately after the talks concluded today. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky shared the information on the exchange in his Telegram channel. The number of prisoners who returned has not been disclosed. Among those released are defenders of Mariupol and Snake Island. Some of the soldiers who returned home today had been in captivity for more than 3 years had been captured during the defense of Mariupol. Also released was the last defender of Snake Island, a fighter from Ukraine's State Border Guard Service. The youngest among those released is 27 years old, and the oldest is 66. The Ukrainian soldiers who returned from captivity had previously taken part in battles in Donetsk, Zaporizhia, Luhansk, Kherson, Kharkiv, Sumy, and Chernihiv directions. It should be noted that, based on an agreement reached during earlier negotiations, over 1,000 Ukrainian military prisoners had been returned in several stages. The two previous negotiations held in Istanbul had also resulted in the exchange of a large number of prisoners of war.
Позвони мамі, скажи, що я сьогодні вийду на зв'язок. Добре, добре. Скоро видадуть телефон і вас обов'язково наберемо. Давайте. Так, хлопці, ТРО. Шикуйте, особовий склад! Костя! Маку!